now, right now. Right 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 now, right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your week daily morning show where we bring you the latest and everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about none other than, drumroll please, the Ethereum iShares Trust that BlackRock has announced. If you haven't heard already, BlackRock, pretty much the largest name in finance and the progenitor of the modern ETF space, launched a application for an Ethereum Trust ETP exchange traded product yesterday. And we're going to be talking about that today because there's a lot of details there that you probably don't have that I want to bring to you. And I'm also going to share with you why this is one of the catalytic events that could send Bitcoin all the way to $40,000. If you watched the Resurgent Climate of Crypto episode yesterday, then you will know that I believe that by the end of this year, end of January at the latest, we are going to be witnessing a $48,314 Bitcoin. I'm very excited to be sharing that information with you because that would be about a about $11,000 rally from where we sit right now. Massive gains are coming to those of you who dollar cost average. Let me get one thing out of the way first and foremost. The way that you become successful in investment is consistent effort over time multiplied by the correct godly financial principles. And of course, that would involve being wise and being understanding of that which you are investing in. To make money in the cryptocurrency space, the number one best way to do it is to dollar cost average into the space every single week or every single month, whatever your time frame is, and reap those rewards. That being said, I do think there are some fantastic and phenomenal trade opportunities coming up as well for all of our traders. And so we're going to talk about those as well. If you guys don't know me, my name is Jeb. I have been doing cryptocurrency YouTube for over 6 years now. Actually, I'm sorry. I lied. Not over 6 years. In 6 days, it will be 6 years. November 16th, the first episode that ever went up on this channel went up. And that video, I predicted that Bitcoin was overextended and that it was going to need to have a major correction when Bitcoin was trading at $8,000, running up to the 2016-17 all-time high. If you haven't seen that video, the very first video on the channel, it was I did not have all the energy and all the exuberance that I did. Now, I learned later that, oh man, I should, put some energy into it. So I was talking like this, guys, like, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm new at this, even though I've been making YouTube videos for 5 years. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. But yeah, I've been doing this for about 6 years. I'm really excited about my career here in the cryptocurrency space. Love getting to interact with you guys every day. Consider subscribing if you guys enjoy what you see. All right. Let's give some shout outs. Let me see if I can shout out everybody. We've already got 170 people in chat, so this might be kind of hard to get through everyone. Coin Operators in chat said, let's go. Good morning to you. Chris SF said, good morning, Jeb. Solana to the moon, probably. Shout out to you, Chris S. F. Philly Skills 1428's in chat. Crypto Surge in chat. Joe Bollier. Buckaroo. 10 Eventers in chat. Thiago P said, Zup, bro. What's up? Ryan Jenkins said, Jeb, the myth, the legend. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. Stan Crawford said, just like my life, is it all dark? Oh, I'm so sorry. Rick4962, Yard Dog is in chat. Good to see you, my friend. I hope that you are well. Got to get back to your most recent message that I have from you because I started reading it and I got distracted by something. I'm so sorry. It's so good to be hearing from you, Yard Dog. Rick, very, very good to hear from you. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Shout out to you. Robert Kehoe said, got my coffee ready. Right now. There you go. French Toasters in chat said, hola, Jebsters. Good to see you. Wreck the Bears said, yo, let's wreck some bears. Love it. Jerry's in chat. JoJo's in chat. Jesse McCrary is in chat. I think I know that name. Hi, Jesse. Good to see you. Gio's in chat. Stan Crawford's in chat. Satchet321 said, hello from my holiday in Thailand. Boom, there you go. Josh Hobbs is in chat. Told you so's in chat. Another Thiego's in chat. DeFi Crypto Vietnam's in chat. Evil 1981, Wrecked, Grateful Head, Derek Delboy Moore, and Thiago again, and Feeding the 5000. That is an awesome name. All right. I think I got everybody. Let's go ahead and jump straight on over to CoinMarketCap. Let's do it. All right. Bitcoin's trading at $37,000, down 1.25% over the last 24 hours, up nearly 7% in the last 7 days. And of course, Ethereum has been doing very well as well. If you watched the stream yesterday, Ethereum was trading around $2,038 to $2,040. And I warned you that there was probably a little bit of a long trade coming in soon. And ever since then, Ethereum's rallied about $50, which doesn't seem like that much, but it's about 2.5%. And it originally did rally quite a bit more. Remember, yesterday we had a tip from one of the commenters that the Ethereum, iShares Trust was being filed with with Delaware. We'll talk about that in just a second. That was talked about right about here. And I told you guys be on the lookout because I think there's a long trade coming on Ethereum today. And talking about if you didn't, there's always more. So don't be discouraged. Ethereum is performing exceptionally well. And the fact that it broke through, I'm on WebView, I apologize. The fact that it broke through 2048 is an exceptionally important deal. However, Ethereum did manage to stop out right here at its previous April 15th high around 2140. We're going to come back to Ethereum. A lot to talk about here today. The next Climate of Crypto episode going up next Thursday is likely going to be on Ethereum. I had a good bit of Ethereum analysis lined up to make that video, and then Ethereum went ahead and went through with my prediction. As you can see, 2 days ago at about 4 p.m., I did some analysis here. You can even see by the arrow that I drew, predicting that the market was going to break bullish here out of this giant symmetrical triangle pattern. You can see right here. Well, Ethereum went ahead and did it before I could get the video made, so I guess you can just see that technical analysis. I will retool this and update it a little bit and come up with some more analysis to bring to the table, but I do think that Ethereum, as I was going to say in that video, is going to have an exceptionally bullish Q4 and Q1, and I do believe that Ethereum could be trading as high as $3,100 within just the next 4 to 6 months, probably even sooner than that. So stay tuned for more Ethereum content. The first prediction I made has already come true, although it didn't get into a video, so we will see what happens following that, and if the rest of that prediction that will be eventually going into a video will come to pass. Binance is up 9% in the last 7 days, XRP up 6%, Solana up 28%, Cardano up 14%. I hope you can see one of the reasons that I recommend a broad-based dollar cost averaging strategy. If you are investing in the top 10, top 20, top 50, then you're going to reap the rewards of each one of these altcoins when they pop off. If Ethereum is up 15% one week and you have some Ethereum, then you are making money on... you are gaining in a principled manner, on paper, I should say, from that appreciation in Ethereum. And if your XRP only goes up 6% one week, or heck, even goes down 6% another week, then it all balances itself out. The idea behind the the investment strategy that I'm giving you guys is quite simply to do your very best to invest in the total market capitalization charts over here on TradingView. This is essentially what the S&P 500 is to the cryptocurrency market. The only tricky thing is that there's no actual mechanism, there's no vehicle to invest in the total cryptocurrency market capitalization chart right now. So you have to do it manually. But if you do it manually and you follow this chart and you do your best to invest in it, this is going to be your most consistent baseline investment that you can make. And then from there, if you want to say, all right, instead of putting $10 a week into Chainlink, I'm gonna put $100 a week into Chainlink because I really believe in the project, then go for it. Same way that if you're investing in the stock market, you're going to start off by investing in the SPY. You're going to max out your Roth IRA. Please do that if you're not doing that. It's $591 a month or something like that to max it out. Max out your Roth IRA. Then say, all right, I like Apple. I like Tesla. Cool beans. I'm going to go buy myself some Apple. I'm going to buy myself some Tesla, but I'm at least going to max out my Roth IRA. So I'm setting myself up for long-term growth because the S&P 500 is relatively low volatility, relatively high growth. It's the way that everybody builds long-term wealth in the stock market. Same thing in the cryptocurrency market. I'm going to do my very best to invest in a broad-based, essentially proto-index fund in the cryptocurrency space by buying Bitcoin. Maybe I'll buy the top 10, maybe I'll buy the top 20, maybe I'll buy the top 50, whatever it is. That's the investment strategy that we're going to go with. So just a quick recap on that, because it is my goal here not just to give you cool information about the cryptocurrency market that you can go and share at the water cooler, although believe me, that is one of the goals here. I want you guys to be able to walk around and feel like you know what you're talking about. because you do, but I also want you to have good financial wisdom that can help you to grow in the long run. So just keep that in mind. Broad-based dollar cost averaging into the market as a whole is the way that you're going to build long-term wealth, guaranteed. If you want to go and invest in small cap altcoins, by all means, go and do it. If you want to, put everything in Bitcoin, put a bunch of stuff into Bitcoin, great. But just make sure that you've got some diversified investments, and you will be glad that you did. All right, let's read chat for just a second, and then we're going to jump into the Ethereum news and how that will drive Bitcoin to over $40,000. That'll be the meat and potatoes of today's stream. If you're enjoying today's stream, hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get up to 100 likes before we even get started. By the way, do just want to let you guys know that today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live is brought to you in part by the Apex Exchange. If you guys don't know, they are an affiliate of the channel, and I am very excited to be affiliated with them because I believe Apex has some really great user interfaces. I think it has a great leverage functionality. You can go up to 100x leverage. If you are wise and you're using that, then great. If you don't know how to use leverage, be careful. This might not be the exchange for you, but if you're ready to use leverage and you're in the United States, or even if you're not in the United States and you want to use the best leverage DEX platform in the game, I think Apex is the place to go. If you go over to CoinMarketCap, you can come down to exchanges, go to DEX. Apex is normally sitting up here between number 3 and number 5 in the trading volume. Huge amount of volume, great exchange, and also it's very, very closely integrated with Bybit. So if you're familiar with Bybit, this is going to feel very familiar to you. So you can check the link in the description box down below and sign up if you would like to have a leverage trading platform that you can use anywhere in the world and that is decentralized. It is the platform that I use, and I think they're doing a very good job. All right, let's read some chat, as I said, and then we will continue moving right along here. Wrecked said, I'm wrecked. We're all wrecked. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's your Chainlink prediction for the same time frame? Which time frame are you talking about? I think Chainlink is going to perform exceptionally well. The question comes down, like you said, to the time frame. I think Chainlink, maybe we'll look at the Chainlink chart just for a second, then we'll jump into Ethereum. How about that? If we look at Link over USDT, you can see that it has rallied an exorbitant amount already. And I do think that an all-time high recapture is very much in the cards for Chainlink. Chainlink does a phenomenal job of bringing interoperability to all the various layer 1s, and that's a really big deal. So Chainlink is a platform that I think has great fundamentals. Now, there are a couple of things on the technicals here I could mention. There's this downtrend right here, but we've broken that. We also have this zone of support between $4 and $5, but we've held that. RSI on the daily chart is at the highest level since the previous bull market. We've not seen this high since 2020. We also see MACD is at the highest level since at least late 2021. Huge bullishness coming out of Chainlink right now. It is already tripled in 2 months. So you may have missed out on a lot of the returns, but I think that you will see even more returns before long. If you're going to invest in Chainlink, I think now is a pretty solid time to do so, and I do think an all-time high recapture will certainly be happening this bull market. I suppose we can't say anything for certain in the market because that's just not the way it works, but I'm very confident that we will. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the BlackRock iShares Ethereum Trust as was registered in the Delaware courts. BlackRock has registered this Ethereum trust in the Delaware, in the state of Delaware, and it's probably going to be the first step towards an Ethereum exchange traded fund. And there's something very interesting about what BlackRock is doing here. BlackRock has gone down the path of basically calling out the SEC for two things. Number one, the SEC lost their case against Grayscale when Grayscale was trying to convert their Bitcoin trust into a Bitcoin exchange traded fund, ETF. And so the, again, Delaware court, in that case, I believe it was as well, ruled that the SEC basically did not have a good enough reason for denying Grayscale's application, and so Grayscale was able to continue with the application, and the SEC essentially had to go straight back to the drawing board and figure out at least a better reason to deny them or just straight up approve them. So the BlackRock has pulled that as a rationale for why they should be able to get an approval when the SEC's major reasons for not approving ETFs from trusts, again, this is an Ethereum trust that they would want to probably convert into an ETF. Those are two different things. They're essentially trying to go down the same pathway that Grayscale is doing because Grayscale seems to be winning. They won the court case, so BlackRock is taking that legislative win and moving in the right direction. And the second reason is because Grayscale, the SEC has approved no fewer than 9 Ethereum exchange-traded products based around the futures. And so they have a dual argument right now. BlackRock is making a dual argument that, well, the SEC lost their case against Grayscale trying to approve, trying to change the trust into an exchange-traded fund. And at the same time, they're arguing, well, wait a second. If you're allowing exchange-traded products, which are based on underlying Ethereum futures, which have proper surveillance sharing agreements, which have proper custodianship, which are tracking a broad base of markets. Coinbase is one of them. Gemini is one of them. I have a list here on my screen. I think that some of the other ones are, Itbit. There's a few different exchanges that they're tracking. If you, SEC, are willing to approve exchange-traded products that are essentially packaging up Ethereum futures into an exchange-traded product, which then is therefore a security, futures, normally a commodity, an exchange-traded product which is selling those futures, that is now a security, which means it is the SEC's wheelhouse. The CFTC is a lot more loosey-goosey with approval, so futures contracts are pretty simple to get. If they're willing to allow an exchange-traded product based on Ethereum futures, which have the same underlying architecture as the Ethereum trust that BlackRock is trying to create, then why would the SEC not allow for that to occur? So think about it like this. Exchange-traded product, running on futures, everything below those futures is acceptable. The custodianship, the surveillance sharing, the market stability, the exchanges that they're pulling the market data from, BlackRock is basically saying, all right, we're going to pull from those same exchanges. We're going to have very similar comprehensive surveillance sharing agreements, which we know that you will like. We're going to use Coinbase as a custodian. You don't get a better custodian than Coinbase. We're going to essentially have the exact same underlying architecture as those futures, which you, Gary Gensler, and your SEC seem to believe are fine. So please tell us one good reason why you should not allow for our exchange-traded product, this Ethereum trust. That's basically the name of the game. And if they can get that trust approved, then obviously they're going to try and change it into an ETF, because the ETF has a lot more, just quite frankly, people are much more interested in buying an ETF than they are in buying a trust. So that's kind of the news that we saw come out of New York City yesterday. BlackRock is now moving in the direction of getting an ETP, which they will likely later change into an exchange-traded fund, an ETF, for Ethereum. And this is really important for one of the reasons that we've talked about here on the channel. I made a video on this a couple of days ago, how to 10x your wealth in the cryptocurrency space. I'll show you that video. The way that you're going to grow your wealth in the cryptocurrency space, give me 1 second. I want to show you this video so that you can go and watch it. It is right here. If you haven't seen it, 10x your wealth in crypto and Bitcoin by doing this. By the way, if you've not watched this price prediction video yesterday, you should. It's the Climate of Crypto video. Put a lot of work into that. I think you'll really enjoy it. How do you 10x your wealth in crypto? Well, one of the major ways you do that is you do a broad-based index fund approach style to investment. Buy everything. Now, look, if there's one project that you think is just absolute horse manure, then don't buy it. You know, for me, that would be Bitcoin Cash. I'm not touching Bitcoin Cash with a 10-foot pole. That is a failure of a project. I'm sorry. Look, I understand 8x the block size. Great. Doesn't actually solve anything. If you're trying to solve scalability on Bitcoin, you need to bring in something like Lightning Network, which is infinitely scalable, not just tweak one number. All right. I just ticked off all the Roger Ver fans in chat. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin Cash. That being said, broad-based index fund investment. Now, that is not really possible on a traditional stock exchange or a traditional brokerage account yet, because these cryptocurrencies have not been packaged into exchange-traded products so that you could build an index fund on them. The S&P 500 has 500 securities that they can pull from. The cryptocurrency market has not been securitized in such a way that you can build an index fund and launch it on Fidelity or Vanguard. So you have to do it manually. But when you get to the point that you have the investment architecture in place, that you could go on Fidelity and buy the Crypto 20, and it's the top 20, or you could go buy the Crypto 50, or you could go buy the Crypto 100, and it's the top 100, top 50, top 20 projects, or you could go buy a fund that's the top 15 the top 15 NFT projects, top 15, whatever, layer ones, whatever. When you get to that point, because you have enough of the cryptocurrency market securitized into the market in that manner, then you have millions of people that will be doing exactly what I'm telling you to do, which is invest in the market in a broad-based index fund style of investment strategy, because many of the altcoins are mature enough. They have survived the bear market. They're going to continue. That is crazy. We've never seen that happen. In every bull market, every bear market cycle before, you kept Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and everything else changed. Since 2021 to now, all the altcoins are basically the same. They stayed. They have sticking power, which means they are now holding on to a track record of investment. Last bull market, I was recommending buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe a little bit of XRP if you could get past all the litigation. This bull market, I'm saying buy the top 20, excluding a couple of outliers, because they've all survived and they're all looking like they're gonna thrive. And so the reason, and so the marrying of these two ideas is that BlackRock has shown us that when Larry Fink said that he believes that there will be a flight to quality away from stocks into gold, bonds, and cryptocurrency, it seems like he may have actually meant cryptocurrency. We thought that he probably just meant Bitcoin, because he was not allowed to say Bitcoin because he was in the middle of trying to get an ETF out. So he, being a public figure, is not allowed to actually speak on it or say anything that might manipulate the price. So it seems like he had said Bitcoin, gold, bonds, or treasuries. And I think he may have said treasuries, not bonds, actually. Treasuries and crypto. It seems like he may have actually meant crypto, like the whole market, because now they're working on something for Ethereum. What I'm interested in seeing, and this is my 10-year outlook, 10 years from today, here's my prediction, and I will probably make the afternoon video on this, and this is the strategy that is much larger than an ETF. This is bigger than an ETF, 100 times bigger than an ETF. This will bring $10 trillion in investment, 20, 30, $50 trillion of investment. BlackRock is positioning themselves right now. Many other companies are positioning themselves right now to build that first index fund, where you can go to your financial advisor, where you can go onto a brokerage account and say, I want to buy the Crypto 20 in a securitized form with all of the SEC's protections, with all the United States government's protections, and I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency in an index fund strategy. Right now, doing that, even as somebody in the cryptocurrency space, can be a little bit daunting because you've got a bunch of different wallets you got to set up. You've got all this stuff. You securitize every single one of those in spot form so they actually impact the supply and demand economics of the market. You sell that to the masses, and I guarantee you, I would buy that today. I'd throw so much money every single month into that. I would do it. I work in cryptocurrency, but you know what? Going and saying, I'm going to buy this one index fund, which is a package of all of the different securitized cryptocurrencies over on Fidelity or Vanguard or whatever, TD Ameritrade, I don't care. I would do that because it's simpler than going through and buying every single cryptocurrency. I would still go and buy individual cryptocurrencies. I'd still go have self-custody. I'm not saying I would throw self-custody out the window. I would still have a ton of Bitcoin self-custodied. But you can bet your bottom dollar I would invest in that like it's a retirement account. And millions and millions and millions of people would. And with BlackRock showing us now that they're not just interested in Bitcoin, but they are also interested in Ethereum, which means they're probably also interested in some of the smaller cap altcoins over the next 2, 3, 5 years if they can prove themselves. We may be seeing some massive companies coming into the cryptocurrency space, securitizing those cryptocurrencies, building that early index fund, and then the people that buy that are going to be making ridiculous wealth. And you, my friends, because you are here in cryptocurrency, have the ability to do that today. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. You have the ability to do that today. You can go into Coinbase, you can go into Binance, you can go wherever the heck you want, and you can say, all right, I'm going to buy the Crypto 20 before it even exists. Think about that for a second. Think about buying the S&P 500 before the S&P 500 even existed. How wealthy would you be right now? Let's just go back and look at the S&P 500, the SPY. Let's just take a look at how wealthy you would have been if you bought the stock market. Crypto, obviously, as we know, is much more volatile, has a lot more upside potential in the stock market, mainly because it's so much smaller and it hasn't grown as much yet, but it's absolutely there. Let's look at the stock market and see where you would be. The S&P 500, at least on this chart, goes back to 93. S&P was at 43 points, $43, whatever you want to call it, when it first appears on this chart 30 years ago. It is up 1,000%. That's the stock market. And keep in mind, this is not the genesis of the stock market, guys. This is the middle of the 90s. This is not the beginning of the stock market. This is the middle of the 90s. The stock market was already the largest investment vehicle in the history of mankind at that time, and it still went through a 1,000% appreciation in 30 years. Talk about a kind of market you can invest in for retirement or invest in for just making oodles and oodles of money so you can go and be generous with it, right? Now, let's go back to the DJI. Let's give a little bit better of an analogy, because the DJI, this chart actually goes back to when it was first created. The Dow Jones Industrial Average launched at between about $10 and $20, 10 and 20 points. Within 30 years, this is in the very late 90s, 1890s. Within about 30 years, going up into the roaring 20s, leading up to the Great Depression, it rallied by 1,000%. Both of these markets in the first 30 years rallied 1,000%. Now, people are out here saying, well, Jeb, wait a second. I could go invest in Dogecoin to make 1,000% next year. You could. You absolutely could. We absolutely could do that. And you should do that, as far as maybe not Dogecoin, but you should be looking at altcoins and saying, this altcoin is going to go up by 500%. Great. Go do that. Go make a trade that you'll be in for 18 months. Short-term investment, whatever you want to say. But if you want to build long-term consistent wealth in a way that you don't even have to think, I'm giving you a way to make a ton of money without even really thinking that much. What kind of world do we live in where you can make money without thinking? Please do your thinking. But if you follow one basic strategy, you will become wealthy. Invest in an index fund style approach to the cryptocurrency space. So why is this huge news that will drive Bitcoin over $40,000? Because the big dogs understand what I just said. If you want to be one of the big dogs, understand what I just said. The big dogs understand that BlackRock didn't back just Bitcoin and say, to hell with the rest of the cryptocurrencies. No, they backed Bitcoin and now they're backing ETH. Which means, will Cardano be around the corner? Will XRP be around the corner? Will Chainlink be around the corner? By around the corner, I'm talking long-term, 3 to 5 years, but maybe a year from now. Are those cryptocurrencies going to be securitized in the future? Are BlackRock themselves, in the back of their mind, in their 3 to 10 year planning, trying to build that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency index fund that I'm talking about? Everybody knows that if you are trying to become wealthy, the first 3 things you do in personal finance are you pay off all your high yield debt and get down to having a mortgage or no debt at all. You make a budget. That's the first thing you do. You make a budget. And 3, you invest in an index fund called the S&P 500. You do those 3 things before you do just about anything else other than cutting frivolous expenses, right? Getting out of high yield debt, getting on a budget, and investing in the stock market with that index fund. When you have an index fund for cryptocurrency that is higher return than the stock market because you're 100 years earlier than you are in the stock market, don't you think that financial advisors the world over 10 years from now will be saying, get out of debt, get a budget, cut frivolous expenses, and invest in the S&P 500 and that cryptocurrency index fund? Don't you think they'll be saying that? I guarantee you they will be saying that if trends continue. That's an if. Something could happen. But that's where we're headed. And it looks like BlackRock, with this movement, which is why I say huge news will drive Bitcoin over 40,000. It looks like BlackRock is trying to build that very architecture today. They're a $9 trillion asset under management company. If anybody's going to do it, it's them. They're all trying to do it. They're all trying to get 20 or 30 ETPs and ETFs under their belt so they can build a fund. They want to be fund managers, not just a manager over a tiny little ETF. Bitcoin ETF is small fry game. We've been talking about that for 5 years. Now's the day that we start talking about not just Bitcoin ETFs, but cryptocurrency index funds. You're thinking, Jeb, that is the most boring thing I've ever heard. You want to know what's exciting about that? Bringing in 50 million investors that are buying it for retirement. The reason that the United States stock market is worth tens and tens and tens of trillions of dollars is because people buy it to secure their long-term wealth. Crypto is becoming a secure enough investment vehicle that people are starting to look at it that way. They're starting to say, all right, I want to have money when I retire, so I'm going to buy the S&P 500. I'm going to max my Roth IRA. I'm going to take my 401k match. I'm going to pay off all my high yield debt. I'm, for the most part, going to follow a lot of what like Dave Ramsey teaches. Not all of it. Of course, he thought Bitcoin was a mistake. He was wrong. Nobody's perfect. But I'm basically going to do that. I'm going to have a budget. I'm going to pay off all my high yield debt. If I got a 3.5% mortgage, yeah, I'll throw some at it, but I'll try and pay it off, but there might be better things I can do with some of that money. I'm going to invest in the stock market. I'm going to invest in cryptocurrency. Now, people are looking at this market and saying, all right, these altcoins are here to stay. It's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum that are blue chips anymore. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, XRP, Solana, Cardano, Chainlink, Polygon, Polkadot. Those are the main ones I'm talking about. Those are blue chip status now, and they're going to prove that or not. And if they don't, then they don't. We'll find out. Sometimes blue chip products don't stay blue chip products. But for now, the market is starting to adjust and seeing those as blue chips. which means a couple of things. Number one, Bitcoin dominance is going to go down, but number two, Bitcoin's going to go way up. Bitcoin is going to explode on this because Bitcoin will still be the leader, but it will not be a dominant leader. It will be a pluralistic leader. Two different terms there. Dominant means over 50%. Plurality just means the majority, even if that's 10%. But there's so many other players that the next highest guy is 9%. It's kind of the difference between the way the American electoral system works and pretty much every other British Commonwealth system works. You have a plurality where they get 30% of the vote, so they get 30% of the seats, or you have the American electoral system where winner take all, 50% is based in a bicameral system. Similarly, Bitcoin may not remain over 50% forever, but it'll probably always remain 20 or 30%, and Ethereum will be lower than that, and Cardano will be lower than that, and XRP will be lower than that. But the altcoins are going to grow, and they're going to grow a lot. And this altcoin season is going to be absolutely bonkers because we have never seen an altcoin season where the altcoins that are rallying this season proved themselves in last season, and the first 1,000% of their growth is just getting back to all-time high. And then there's more to go from there because now we have the American populace invested in this, and they're not even aware that they're going to be invested in it right now at all. The bull market is starting today, and the people that will be driving the bull market a year and a half, 2 years from now have never even heard of Bitcoin, or right now they think it's a scam. But that's all changing. So why is Bitcoin going to $40,000? Why is Bitcoin going to $50,000? Why is Bitcoin going to $150,000? Why is the total market capitalization chart going from $1.376 trillion to $3 to $5 to $10 trillion before the end of the decade? Has a lot to do with that Ethereum trust that we just saw from BlackRock. BlackRock signaling that they're interested in the whole cryptocurrency space and not just Bitcoin means that they are not just interested in one part of this space. They are interested in building out investment architecture in this space like what is seen in the stock market. We already knew that a lot of other companies were interested in building something like that. They just never really had the weight to do it. If anybody has what it takes to build out a broad-based index fund in cryptocurrency, it's BlackRock. And here's the scoop also. If BlackRock doesn't want to do it, another company can use their securities to build an index fund, right? If you're an index fund manager, that doesn't mean you own every single security in the fund. As far as you don't manage every single security in the fund, it means that you buy them on an open securities market, on an open stock exchange. And so if BlackRock doesn't want to build that index fund because their main thing's ETFs, whatever. Vanguard loves index funds. That's how they got big. That's where the founder got big with gosh, what's his name? John Bogle. That's how John Bogle got huge with index funds. I guarantee you, if ETFs come out for the top 5, top 10 cryptocurrencies, Vanguard's going to swoop in there and they're going to go to town and build an index fund and they're going to make billions. Excuse me. They're going to make hundreds of billions. Somebody is going to create the first cryptocurrency index fund in a securitized form on a stock exchange, and they are going to become the most wealthy people in finance, or at least very close to the top. Very close to the top. So listen, guys, if you want to learn more about the cryptocurrency market, then make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because we're bringing you content every single day here. Bitcoin is going to drive to over $40,000. Frankly, it's going to drive to over $400,000 because of news like this. This is mass adoption. They're not approved yet. They likely will be. Some people are giving it even a 90% likelihood that at least one Bitcoin ETF will be approved within the next 3 to 6 months. I'm not sure I'm that confident in it, but I'm pretty confident that one's coming in the next year. Especially, even if it takes till the presidential election, we get a new SEC chair, and then we have to wait till 2025. But it's coming. We might have to wait for Gary Gensler to get out of the way, but Gary Gensler can only put up a fight for so long. This is happening, and he can't stop it as much as he wants to, as much as his buddies at JP Morgan want him to. He can't stop it. When you see cryptocurrencies securitized in a spot format, and there's real custody going on, there's real supply and demand economics being impacted here, and you have this methodology of, I want to retire. How do I do that? Oh, I buy the S&P 500. We already knew that. We've known that for 100 years. John Bogle from Vanguard kind of popularized that idea. Then you also buy a broad-based index fund in cryptocurrency, and then, yes, pick some stocks, pick some cryptocurrencies, go for it. Yes, you should individually custody some of your Bitcoin. Totally. Right? There's 2 reasons you buy crypto. 1, because you want to make money, and 2, because you want to self-custody. I'm not saying all of your crypto has to be on a brokerage account. You can self-custody some Bitcoin in case the government goes crazy, which they're already doing, and you need to have some, metaphorical gold buried in a shoebox under the oak tree in your backyard. I'm all for self-custody. But the majority of the American people want to make money more than they want to self-custody. And so when you build that investment architecture, you're going to see trillions flow in. All right, let's go ahead and read chat. Really appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Crypto Mini Bike is in chat, said, good morning, everyone, and a very happy Veterans Day to all that have served or are serving. Thank you so much for reminding me to talk about that. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, 11/11, also known as, I think isn't 11/11 also VE Day? VE Day? I got to look this up. Oh, no, that was May 8th. Really? What is the day? Okay. For some reason, I thought that was VE Day. That's in May. All right. So anyway, I'm a World War II nerd, and I should have known better than that. Anyway, tomorrow is Veterans Day. Shout out to all of our veterans who have served our country. Thank you guys so very much. I do my very best if I ever see one of you guys out in uniform or with a hat or whatever to say thank you. And same thing for all of our police, firefighters, healthcare professionals, all of that. You guys keep the lights on metaphorically here and literally here in our country. So thank you so very much for all of your protection of the country. You know, there's one guy that I know that was in the military, and he was like a janitor or something. And I told him thank you. He's like, what are you thanking me for? I just sweep the place. I'm like, dude, I'm not sweeping the place. Place got to be swept. Thank you. Don't turn the thank you down. Thank you. Like, those bases got to be kept clean or people get sick and military readiness goes down. Look, if you're wearing that uniform, thank you. I'm not saying you're perfect. Nobody is, but thank you. So I appreciate all of you guys who are servicemen and women around the world. Shadrach Frost is in chat, said, folks, please take a moment and click the like button and give some love and support for Jeb, who comes online to help us learn. Takes a second to click and really helps. Hashtag FinSolve. Thank you, Shadrach Frost. It really does. Diane11CA said, just a heads up, BlackRock likes the new FTT owners. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Chris Reed said, finally caught this show live. Good to see you. Stan Crawford said, 101 crypto. That would be huge. Yes. All right. Shout out to the moms. Yes, shout out to the moms for sure. Grand Riffy Incorporated in chat said, good morning, Jeb. Good morning, everyone. Jugi said, please like for Jep. Thank you so much. All right, as far as, let's look at the charts a little bit before we wrap it out here. Of course, Ethereum has done very well on this news. Not crazy well, just because it's, you know, it had already rallied a good bit. And also there's just, there's a lot that needs to actually happen first. But, excuse me, we're excited about where Ethereum is going. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, if you have not seen our video that we made yesterday, I would encourage you to go back and watch this. Put a lot of work into this. We spent about 4 hours editing this. And really exciting news. I'm actually training my wife to be an editor. So she helped edit this video. So if you want to go and support a project that she worked on, make sure to go back and watch this video right here where we talk about how Bitcoin is heading to $48,314. I think you will really enjoy that piece of content. And also make sure to stay tuned because there's more videos coming out today. And I want you guys to really lean into crypto right now because there's a lot of wealth to be made in it. A couple of ways that you can make wealth in cryptocurrency. First and foremost, if you're a trader and you want to use leverage, it is a useful tool. You do have to be careful with it, of course. But if you are trying to use leverage, you can use Bybit or Apex. You can use those links in the description box down below. If you're outside the United States and you're okay with a CEX, a centralized exchange, Bybit's a good option. Great option, actually. I've used it in the past. The only reason I don't now is because I don't want to have to deal with all the KYC and the VPN and all that stuff. Look, I'm all for protecting yourself. I'm all for not telling the government where you are. I'm not against that. It's just not something I personally want to deal with. So I use Apex when I do leverage trade. And so if you want to leverage trade, two great options are Bybit or Apex. And you can find both of those links in the description box down below. I've already shown you Apex a little bit. Very similar format, very similar layout to Bybit. Great exchange. I've been having a lot of fun with it when I'm doing my leverage trading. And also, guys, make sure if you have not already to sign up for Luxalgo, you can use coupon code JEB30, JEBB30 for 30% off at checkout. And you can use any of those other affiliate links down below to get access to some great products. Guys, I have told you before, I will tell you again, I have been offered tens of thousands. I think in one case, we were actually offered over $100,000 to promote a coin. We turned it down. You know why? Because our integrity is worth more than any amount of money. I don't put products down there that I don't believe in. And if you guys find out that there's something with a product that is shady or wrong and I missed it, tell me, because I am not going to trade my integrity for any dollar amount. Is that clear? Hopefully that's clear. With that said, I believe in everything in that description box down below, and I believe everything down there has an ability in some way to help you generate more wealth for yourself in the cryptocurrency space. So go and get a Tangent wallet. I've got one. It's sitting right over there. Go and sign up for LuxAlgo. Incredible technical indicator. Join the CryptoJeb Discord server. Great place. Sign up for TradingView Premium. And if you sign up for any of those links, you will be helping to support this channel and what we are doing here. Really appreciate all of you guys. I cannot explain enough how much I appreciate everything that you guys do for us. David is doing some political campaigning in chat. Looks like he is petitioning for Gary Gensler for prison. 2024. Let's go, baby. I remember in 2020, there was obviously, the Biden versus Trump stuff going on, and I had a meme on my phone. It said, Giant Meteor 2020. Yeah, that's who I'm voting for. Feels that way every year nowadays, doesn't it? Feels like that every year. All right. Chris Reed said, learned a lot from watching these videos. That's the goal. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, as I said, we're teasing the idea of bringing back, by the way, Flint Eastwood's in chat. That's a great name. Teasing the idea of bringing back CT2A. Black Friday's coming up. I'm thinking about it. And we'd continue updating it too. I wouldn't just bring it back and leave it that way. We'd continue updating it. Tell me in chat if you guys would like to see CT2A coming back with updates. Would love to hear your opinion on that. I think we're going to. Not some big announcement. I'll do a big announcement if we actually launch it. But right now, I'm just thinking about it. Tell me if you guys would be interested in that. I'm pretty excited for it. Also pretty excited for Climate of Crypto to be back, so make sure you stay tuned. Thursdays at 2 p.m. is our goal. I would like to get to the point where we're doing 3 a week, and I'll continue doing phone videos because you guys are loving those and they're doing well. But just stay tuned because we got a lot of content coming out. I've got a content schedule envisioned in my head. I just have to build all the architecture to support it because it's a lot and we're a small team. But I've got a lot to work on, and I'm really excited to share this journey with all of you guys. Coaching the Chaos said, yes, bro. Would love to bring CT2A back and have a different pricing model. But other than that, it would be continuing to move in the same direction that it was. Let me just go ahead and mute that real quick. Good deal. Shadrach Frost said, yes to CT2A. Grandfather the old timers in. Yes, I would be grandfathering the old timers in. Nobody that already had it would be having to pay again. But if anybody new wanted to get in, there would be a different pricing model. Wouldn't be a live stream without me being able to unable to chat and it gets auto deleted. Wisely T said, I'm going to look in the settings. Who can send messages? Look, I can show you right here. Live chat replay. Who can send messages? Anyone. Reactions live. I don't even have slow mode on. You guys can talk as much as you want in here. We just don't, we haven't had, an issue with that where I have to do that. So let me just come off of here and go into other details and see if there's anything. Yeah, comments. Comment moderation is even turned off. I have comment moderation turned off just because it's a small enough stream right now that we can manually do it. So I'm not sure why it's doing that, Wisely T. I am very sorry to hear that. Ethereum prediction, over 5,000 by the end of the bull market, probably 10. Depends on whether that exchange-traded product gets approved. Hyped for Cardano Barbers Guild. Hyped for anything Cardano. Yep, we're going to talk about Cardano. All right, guys. We are running over time. Hello from Puerto Rico. My wife is from Puerto Rico, so shout out to Puerto Rico. Lola, it's okay, Jeb. Glad to be here live. Good to see you, Wisely T. Wisely T. Sorry, Wisely T. Wisely T. Omay, not Omay. Not Omay. Omay, because you told me yesterday, said LuxAlgo tutorial. I am planning on creating a full course teaching all the nuts and bolts of LuxAlgo. Tell me in chat if you'd be interested in that. Probably wouldn't be crazy expensive either. I'd probably throw it in as a package deal with CT2A in the future. Looking at probably about 20 videos. I've been talking to Sean about creating something like that. So tell me if you'd be interested in that. I am thinking about creating that. If I do, then I would love to see if you guys would be interested in it. All right. We are going to go ahead and wrap it out. But before I go, if you enjoyed today's stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.